also think that another system will be very, very relevant for maybe every back-off customer. And we introduced this system, the modular automation system, in November 2021 from our first live and interactive show in our production shop floor in Herzebrock. Since then, Paula, and actually much longer, is with the MX team. And
Yes.
Paula, can you take us back what happened over the last 12 months?
Well, after we presented the mix system, we showed it to a lot of our customers on the automation updates in Europe. And we had quite some positive feedback to the mix system. And then we presented the mix system at the Hannover Messe, and even our Chancellor, Scholz, visited us, and he put together the mix system.
So we know it's lawyer-proof. We know that everybody can use it.
Yes,
Everybody can
very
assemble it,
easy, yes.
and all our customers seem to like it. And now we are here in the highlight forum of the SPS, our most important show. It looks like we have 10 by 10 square meters, 10 by 10 meters
exactly,
roughly.
yes.
10 by, wow, perfect. 10 by 10 meters here available for showing everything around the MX system. What can we see here, and why should people come here?
Well, first of all, we have our workbenches where everyone can put together their mix system within just a few minutes. And then we have our portfolio, and we show all the functions that are available for the mix system. We have some application examples to show our customers what is possible to do with the mix system. We have the benefits, and we show that the mix system really is dust and waterproof. And we have 2 special workplaces, and I think this will be shown tomorrow.
It's MX, our new, let's say, cabinet-free automation. And you might notice that we talked about MX already yesterday, and it's about these modules here. So we actually have like Lego, and you have modules, you plug it on the base plate, and then the whole system is assembled. This is the easiest way to do automation with the MX system. Now yesterday people asked us, well, mechanically, totally clear and understood, but what about the software? And that's why I invited, hello Friedrich, we are here. We invited our software guys from the MX department to let you know how actually MX system is configured, programmed, diagnostics, and trained. So let's start here, because you told me that this is like a system designer.
Yes, that's
So what is this? What can I think about system design?
that will be the main entrance point if you want to create an MX system, but you don't know your way around what module do I use, what kind of base plate do they have. So it's like you only need to know your actuators, your sensors, you type them in, and we, or the system designer, derives the modules you need and the base plates you need.
So like we know the motion designer, now we have a system designer for MX. So all the inputs and outputs modules are there, or all the sensors are there? How do I understand that?
So it's the right comparison. The motion designer is like the appropriate part for the MX system, the system designer. We know all our modules, but we do not know all the actuators and sensors.
Yeah.
But the user can enter it. You just have to type in the information from the normal data sheet. And with that information, the system designer can use that input. And if you use that new sensor, we can derive, or the system designer can derive the module you need to use.
Okay, now if I look around the trade show here, I have thousands of sensors and actuators which are supplied. Are they all already in our system designer, or do I enter them all manually?
No, you can enter them manually, and then, well, the database will grow. And at some point, basically, well, all the major sensors and actuators will be present, and you can just drag and drop them into your system.
Okay, and at the end I have a list of all my inputs and outputs and the sensors, and then I make a click of a button and the base plate is configured, or how is this done?
Yes, that's basically the idea of it.
Yeah.
You just enter all your actuator sensors, derive the modules, and we create all the rest.
Yeah, but what happens if I have more sensors and actors than the base plate has empty slots?
Well, then the system designer can work with that. You can create new groups. A group is standing for one base plate. And then you create, you can create up to there's actually no limit right now.
Yeah.
So you can create a lot of groups, a lot of base plates, and then configure them all, build your whole architecture, and the designer will help you with it.
And that means at the end of the day, I have either already the sensors in the system, or I add them manually with the values, and then I make a configuration and the layout is done.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's see what has happened in TwinCAD, because this is the system designer we do. Now we take a look into TwinCAD, because TwinCAD is also the backbone for our system, right?
Yes, of
So
course.
is this the same trinket as always, or do you have a special trinket?
No, it's always the same. You can really choose like EL or terminals or drives. You can choose your modules from a list and build your own configuration, or you can scan the topology automatically. It's really the same.
So for the trinket user as of today, it is exactly the same setup like he used the EL terminals today.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we wouldn't be back off if we just do the same again. And of course, we have some extra features which we can use in MX versus our EtherCAT system. So what are the new features?
Yes, of course. One feature is the integrated electronic fuse we have in the modules. We call it eFuse. And the eFuse help us to predict errors, and because we can monitor the current, for example. And yes, that's what would help us to predict errors.
So additional monitoring features in every individual module.
Yeah.
And then I also learned that we do a hot swap now because it is the base plate system. So this is also supported in TwinCAT that we have hot swap technology.
Yeah, we can exchange modules, like defective modules. We can exchange, put it away, and the modules behind are still running. No problem, the machine can run, and yeah.
Now, I remember when I started my electrical career, I make an apprenticeship as an electrician.
Yeah.
So I actually built cabinets, and a couple of years ago.
Me too.
Yeah, and then I had to monitor the system, and if there was a failure, I used my multimeter. With the cable and attached it to the DIN rail. Now, there's nothing to use my multimeter anymore. So
no.
what can we offer to the customer if you want to do on-site diagnostic?
Yeah. Normally we can use TwinCAT. We can use the normally TwinCAT functions like scope or analytics.
Yeah, but this is maybe, well, the monitor is far away, right?
It's far away. Then we can choose our app. We have developed a smartphone app for diagnosis, and that can tell you, Friedrich,
Okay,
can show you more.
because I noticed that there's a little blue light flashing here, Friedrich. So what
Because
is
it's
this
ready
all about?
for connection.
So
Take a look here.
you just take your smartphone, you have an app installed, and now what
Exactly.
happened?
Now you can choose their base plate and connect to the base plate.
Okay,
You
so
see
your
all the
app
modules?
is connected via Bluetooth to our base plate.
Yes.
Okay, what is next?
Now you can choose a module. So let's say we go for the input, and then you choose the PDO to see. So this is representing the display of the module right now.
Okay,
And if you push that button,
so
you will
I simulate now an action. Yes, and I see input 7, change the color, and now it's changing back. Here we go, okay. So this is connected now through Bluetooth, and every single module can be monitored.
yes.
Okay, now Bluetooth is a bit limited in the distance, but is this sufficient for our application?
Definitely, because the Bluetooth module is integrated in the base plate.
Okay.
So it's not coming from the master, which might be far away. It's everywhere where you got a base plate. You have the possibility to connect with your mobile device to the base plate and get all the information.
Wow. I mean, this is the easiest way I can imagine.
And one thing where we like to chat about the most at the moment is for sure our modular control cabinet. It's in the highlight forum, and Marvin is with me to tell me a little bit how the feedback of our customers was during the last 12 months.
The feedback was quite impressive for us. People were sometimes a little bit critical in the first place, but once they got to know the system and once they see all the opportunities they have with redesigning their machines, they are really stunned. And when they enter the forum here, our highlight forum at the SPS fair, they are almost impressed by every single detail here with our MX system.
You just said, okay, they are sometimes a bit curious because it's so novel. It's a complete new approach to building a control cabinet. And I could imagine that if you want to find a hair in the soup, then you can say, a component is missing. Where's pneumatics in the MX system? Can you maybe share a thought on this?
Yeah, so we are providing a whole variety of portfolio with our MX system, but there are still some components that Backoff doesn't offer for the customer. So as well as valves manifold, for example. But what we do with the MX system is we just distribute voltage and EtherCAT throughout the whole topology. So you could also take 24 volts and EtherCAT out of the system to connect a valve manifold. And you can see it, just here. there's a valve manifold connected to the MX system, but it could be anything else that just needs power and EtherCAT as a bus system.
Okay, so as a medium, we basically supply energy and data,
Right.
and then you can connect, for example, pneumatics or anything else to it. Last but not least, did you find, despite a little bit of skepticism of some customers, already some interested partners to try out the MX system?
Yeah, so at the moment we are planning concepts with our customers, so they come to us or we come to them with a specific machine or application they are thinking about to change that to the MX system, and we are then taking a look at the circuit diagrams and see what kind of modules we can transform to the MX system, and the resonance is quite good at the moment. So we have planned about 2 dozens of different concepts with our customers. So we're on the way, and there are lovely applications coming ahead of us.
Wonderful. I think that's also a pretty nice message for you, because if you have an application for the MX system, if you want to convert your traditional control cabinet to the modular approach from Beckhoff, thank you, by the way,